Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to Oklahoma Ride Along. I'd like to thank all of you for choosing to join me for today's episode. So we got a lot going on today. We're going to be cutting some soybeans. I've got a lot of interesting information and news to catch you guys up on. So first, the combine's already over back in the soybean field. Let's take the Halloween machine and scoot on over there. All right. So first off, um, let's see here. One of the things I wanted to let you guys know about is if you notice back there, there's something missing, and I managed to get that old Farm King auger sold. The guy came and picked it up earlier this morning. It was actually one of the tire kickers that had come to look at it um, a few weeks ago. He decided that it was time to start filling bins. Came back and he sent me a text and asked me if I still had it. I told him yeah. We settled on a price which was $3,000, which I thought was really pretty good. He seemed happy with, and yeah, he came and got it. So pretty happy about that since I wasn't going to be using it. In other news, I've got some good news about the 4490 case that's at the dealership being repaired. They have almost got it done, and they expect to have it back to me within the next couple days. So it sounds like we're going to have that back for fall tillage. So that's pretty exciting. Um, in other news, I am already looking at a couple of different pieces of equipment to invest in over the winter. So that is something that I think you will want to stay tuned for. Well, let's jump in the combine, get her fired up, and see what we can do here. Now, if any of you guys have been following me for very long, I think you'll know, maybe remember in the last couple of episodes, that I started using a couple of different mods, one of which is the Combine Experience, which is just related to combines and forage harvesters, and another which is additional stats or advanced stats. I believe it's advanced stats. So advanced stats is what you see over here on the right, and formerly the threshed bushels was pretty incorrect. And let's see here. If I hit Alt T again, it will take me to partial statistics, which I want to reset. So we'll know how many acres and how many bushels of soybeans that we get cut here today. And so let's get going here, and I will try to explain what I've done with the statistics, and also what I have done with the fruit adjustments mod, which I am developing a very close affection for. Alright, so let's get our separator going, and let's get our header going. Let's go to our external view, just because it's fun to combine in external view. Header down, and I think we're gonna go this way. Go to the right. All right, so if you'll remember I think from the last video, I told you guys that I had started using fruit adjustments, and I had done a couple of different things with that so far. I do have some new information on that. I'm going to try to explain to you guys what I've been doing and what I've been using that for in the past couple of days. So I've edited 3 things using that fruit adjustments mod. And now it's a script mod. It's not something that, it's not something that you physically see in the game. It's just a way to make the game more interesting for me and more realistic for me. And so there's 3 things that I've done. One of which is I have adjusted all of the yields. Well, not all the yields, but I've adjusted the yields for all of the fruits that we might find in Oklahoma. So in other words, all the crops that we might find in Oklahoma. So I've adjusted wheat, barley, oat, soybean, corn, canola, soybean, or sunflower, and cotton. So I've adjusted the yield numbers for all of those crops based on USDA and I guess it's mostly USDA. Anyways, I used USDA like real data from let's see here, 2017, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So I've used those years to adjust the in-game yields for all those crops to be realistic based on Oklahoma's crop yields. And now, you don't find all those crops in Oklahoma. For example, sunflower. Oklahoma doesn't grow a lot of sunflower, if any. I'm not sure I've ever seen a field of sunflowers in Oklahoma. But we do, they do grow them in Texas, which obviously is close to Oklahoma. So for that, for example, I used Texas's sunflower yield information. I think another one that we don't really grow here in Oklahoma is barley. They do grow barley in Colorado, and so I do believe that I used Colorado's information for that. So if I couldn't find good data that was Oklahoma-based data, then I tried to pick a state that was, close to Oklahoma. So another thing I did is that I think is going to make this fun, a lot more realistic, is I adjusted all of the seeding rates using the fruits adjustment mod. And I have gone through and I figured out all of the common or recommended seeding rates for all those different crops, and I have put those in. So the next time, when I go to plant my, when I go to sow my winter wheat in this field and the field it's got corn in it now, because that's my plan, to sow wheat here and to sow wheat over in the cornfield. When I go to do that, we're going to have real world seeding rates when we do that. So that's pretty interesting. And I've done it for all the crops, whether it be canola, corn, wheat, barley, oat, whatever. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the third thing that I just finished doing right before I started this video is I updated all of the pricing using the fruit adjustments mod. So it's a pretty powerful mod. If you just kind of if you're on PC, I don't really know how it works exactly if you're on a console. Obviously you can't edit the files to make it, to make the data, similar to where you live. I don't think you could do that on a console, but it's easy to do in PC if you just kind of look at how the program is, or how the mod is written. but yeah, so the third thing I did was I went and adjusted all the pricing. And now with the pricing, so my yield is real world, or as close as I could find to it, and my seeding rates are real world, or as close as I could, find to it. Now the pricing is where that is what I've used to um, kind of keep the game fun for me and to kind of keep things rolling along. So what I did is I took the real world pricing, um, and I found a pretty good. I found a good document that covered all the crops in the same document, and I took the average between September 2020 and September 2021. It had those two time frames listed, and so I took the average between those two for all those crops, and then I applied what I am going to call the KIF factor, or the keep it fun factor. And so my keep it fun factor is 2.5. So whatever the real world average price was for 2020 and 2021, I took that price, I multiplied it by 2.5 for keeping it fun, and so that's what I'm going to get paid for. Or that's sort of the basis for all the crop prices now. So I think it's going to be. I checked right before I started videoing, and I think it is going to be. I think it's going to work out pretty good. Obviously, the prices I'm going to get paid for my crops in game are not real world. They're 2.5 times what's real world basically. So, anyways, that's kind of the stuff that I've kind of been working on and trying to make the game um, more interesting for me and a little more fun for me. Uh, Let me know if you guys. Let me know what you think of it. Um, if there's some of you that are interested in learning more about the fruit adjustments mod, I might be able to do like a little tutorial video or something related to it. I don't really know. I have mixed feelings about doing tutorial mods and things like that, or tutorial videos for 2000 for Farming Simulator 19, because although I'm still pretty excited to be playing um, FS19, I am going to be playing FS22 when it's released. Um, I think it's going to be. Don't take this the wrong way, but I think it's still going to be pretty lame at first because it's not going to have um, a lot of the gameplay mods that I really enjoy using. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be the best thing since I've seen, that I've seen come out of Farming Simulator since probably, I don't know, 2000, Farming Simulator 2013 maybe. I mean, that was a really good game, and it changed a lot of the features in the game. But I'm really excited about 22, but I just don't know how many people are going to want to keep watching um, videos and episodes from 2019. I'm going to keep playing FS19, but I just don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want to keep seeing FS19 videos in addition to my FS22 videos, or do you think it's just time to let it go and just enjoy it offline, so to speak? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I'd be interested to know. And also, let me know if you'd be interested in a tutorial for the fruits adjustment mod. I know it's probably a little more detailed than some of you guys are interested in, and you maybe don't want to go to the level that I go to. But anyways, I might be willing to do that if some of you guys are interested in learning more about it and seeing how I did all of the numerous unit conversions that you've got to do. So, how is the soybean going, and how is the advanced statistics going here? So, as I mentioned a little earlier, there was an issue with the advanced statistics mod, and right off the bat, as I started using it, I knew that the threshed bushels that you see over there in the partial statistics table, I knew that that was wrong, and I didn't know exactly how I was gonna find it in the programming of the mod and fix it, but I wanted to try. And I don't exactly know. There was a factor in one of the Lua files that I had to. There was a conversion factor that was wrong, and I don't know exactly what that conversion factor was. I mean, it was a single digit number with like 5 decimal points, behind it. So I'm not exactly sure what that number was, but it was the incorrect number. But so as you can see over there, I've gotten it fixed. It's reading bushels. The abbreviation for the English abbreviation was also incorrect. I think it was BSH, when here in the U.S. the abbreviation for bushels is BU. So I was also able to change the units, the display units over there. So I was pretty happy about that. And yeah, it seems to be working pretty well. And I also tried it on my test. In my test save game, I tried it with a couple of different planners and a couple of different drills, and same thing. I was able to confirm that it was working for when it shows. And you guys haven't seen this yet because I wasn't using the advanced statistics whenever I sowed these crops, but you can also see how many bushels you've planted, or how many bushels you've sold, or not sold, but sowed. And I've confirmed that calculation is working correctly, and is being displayed correctly. So pretty excited about it. Pretty excited to have that fixed, because it's a really, it's a nice tool to have, especially when you want to know, okay, how many bushels came off of this field, and how many acres have I harvested so far, in this field. It's pretty handy. I think I'm gonna like this statistical readout. So 2 miles an hour once again seems like it's kind of the sweet speed for soybeans. I think realistically, I should probably be able to go a little bit faster. Now, one thing, I'm not a big fan of the Combine Experience mod is that it gives me tons per hour and tons per acre. Now the tons per hour is okay. I mean that's an alright unit to give me for information. But the tons per acre, I would much rather have bushels per acre, because that's what I understand from running the combine in real life. When you want to know how the crop is doing, you look at bushels per acre. That's in the U.S. That's what we look for. I mean, for things like wheat and corn and soybeans and things like that. Now I'm sure there's some other crops, like maybe some grass seeds and maybe some, I don't know, canola for like canola and sesame. You might be looking at pounds per acre or tons per acre to understand how well the crop is doing. But I bushels per acre is something I understand. It's a unit that I understand a lot better than tons per acre. So I've been looking, I mentioned earlier, I've been looking at some equipment um, for next year, and maybe some of it for this fall. Um, I'm looking at since I am going to get the 4490 back. I'm probably going to look at selling some of my smaller equipment, like my small chisel, um, my smaller cultivator. That's that's not stuff that is really worth a lot, but at this point in my game, really any little bit helps. That's why I sold. If you guys are new to the series, I had several older pieces of equipment when I started because I took this farm over from my recently deceased uncle. So I had a few pieces of older equipment whenever I started, and some of which I made a deal with the bank and I was able to keep because I thought I really needed them. Like, for example, I had an old forage wagon and I thought, yeah, I need that. There's an old gravity wagon and I thought, yeah, that's because that's the way I'm going to take my crops to market. And there was an old auger, which is what I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I just gotten sold. Um, and that was stuff that I kept along with some equipment that I actually did use and have used. Um, but I think it may be time to really evaluate what I need and what I can get rid of now, because $2,000 or $3,000 at this point is a pretty decent amount of money as far as I'm concerned. All right, we're going to let's see here, 64%. I'm going to turn around right here, and I'm not going to be able to make it all the way back around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to cut this headland, and we'll cut around the other. We'll cut around the field in the other direction, and we'll see how far we get. Do a little in-cab farming here. I wish I could get a little more horsepower out of the engine in this combine. And I've thought about, I've done some research on 3208 cats, and I've thought about, kind of bumping the horsepower up a little bit in this thing. I do believe it's got 240 horsepower is what it's set up to be, and that's accurate. That's what the combine, left the factory with as far as power rating goes. So, but I thought about doing a little tuning, turning the pump up a little bit for some more horsepower. But kind of from what I've read about these combines, in real life, that I'm not sure that some of the components could take much more horsepower. So I think I'm probably better off. think I'm probably better off just leaving it the way it is and just being patient. And, you know, I gotta realize, I think to myself, man, this thing is slow, and, you know, I'm only doing 2-3 miles an hour, but it is a 30-foot header, so I am getting work done, you know, quite a bit of work done. And then, you know, I gotta realize the thing's like 40 years old, so, you know, I'm almost 40 years old, and I don't move near as fast as I used to when I was, you know, 20 years old either. So let's see how our yields are doing, because that is something I've found from this precision farming app that is that's pretty neat, this yield map. So the headland here is not really so great. That's actually, I don't know, I'm not sure where that's going to be. That's probably down below 80%. Huh. It's weird because it goes, you know, it's this part of the field is, you know, not particularly, I mean, it's still good, don't get me wrong. I mean, 80% of, you know, perfect yield is not bad, especially when you consider I just threw some fertilizer at it in the beginning of the year and just, you know, then didn't do anything else. But it's interesting that it goes from yellow to, you know, somewhere in the 80s probably up for yield. And then shortly thereafter it goes all the way up to like 125% of you know, typical yield. So right now we're making 72 bushels the acre, which is pretty darn good. In Oklahoma, if you and now remember, these are full season beans as well, so they're not double crop beans, they're full season beans. But in Oklahoma, for dry land, full season soybeans, yeah, 72 bushels the acre is, you'd be pretty happy, you'd be pleased. Certainly nothing to complain about. Especially considering that the like the average price from 2020 to 2021 for soybean was $10.60. So that's you're making some money there. I do believe the corn that's over on the other side of the farmyard there, it should be ready anytime. Probably as soon as I get done with the soybeans here, I will go give that stuff a try. So that'll be interesting. That'll be fun. Well, I don't think I'm going to make it all the way back to the truck. I may probably make it most of the way, but I doubt I'm going to make it the whole way. Well, guys, I think I just passed the 30-minute mark here on the video, so I do believe that I will let you guys go for now. Um, thanks for watching. If you guys have any comments or suggestions, I would love to hear them. Right down there below in the comment section. If you enjoy the video and you're not subscribed already, it would be awesome if you would consider subscribing. Like I said, I am going to be doing some FS22 videos here very shortly. I've been playing the Farming Simulator franchise for 10 years now, so I feel like I'm a veteran, and I've seen the good and the bad of Farming Simulator and Giants. So like I said, I'm pretty optimistic about 22, and if you guys want to see my first impressions, that's going to be out in just probably 2 or 3 days, and should be a fun video to make, and I'm looking forward to it. So guys, that's going to be it. I'm going to keep plugging along here and cutting these soybeans, and we will see you soon. Take care.